Hello folks, a little bit of car news for you. I'm actually filming half of this now and half on another day. So if I suddenly grow flowing locks and look even more handsome than usual, that's explain that one for you. New Lexus Sport concept points the way to an LFA in Monterey. Lexus describes its new concept car as progressively styled, future focused, yet a truly authentic sports car. Here is that concept. And oh my Lord, look at that. What a thing. And it does look like a progression from the old Lexus LFA, which is a really special car. Toyota showed off two monstrous prototypes at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. No details were shared about them, but the pair had very similar proportions to the LFA supercar that went out of production in 2012 and this new concept. So all thoughts at the time were it was one of those at Goodwood. Maybe it was. Forget Netflix, Volkswagen locks horsepower behind a paid subscription. Owners can now subscribe to boost the power of their car for a fee. This is very odd. While the VW ID3 Pro and Pro S are listed on the configurator as producing 201 brake horsepower, buyers must pay a subscription fee to reach the car's full potential of 228 brake horsepower. The subscription currently stands at £16.50 per month. That's almost 3 times the price for standard with ads Netflix subscription, or £165 a year. Owners can also choose to select a lifetime subscription for a grand total of £649. Now, if you do that and sell the car, it does stay with the car, so the new owner gets the benefit from it. It's not a huge difference in power, though, is it? We're talking about 27 brake horsepower. I don't know, it's not anything crazy. Increases maximum torque from 265 to 310 Newton meters. It doesn't affect range. And as the car is registered at 228 brake horsepower from the factory, owners won't need to inform their insurance company either way, because the insurance company evidently is already seeing it as a 228 horsepower car, despite the fact that yours is restricted. I say here, it remains to be seen what would happen if an owner were to hack the car, also known as jailbreaking, in order to manually switch on the extra power for free. This could potentially invalidate the warranty or even lead to legal action from VW, but AutoExpress is waiting to hear back from the firm on this. What do you think about this? Buying a car and then having to subscribe for features. It's like on BMW where you had to pay a tenner a month for your heated seats to work or something. It seems preposterous to me. I mean, we are talking about a performance boost here, which I guess makes sense, but why don't they just give you it if it's possible and it's already built into the car? It's essentially an over-the-air map update. Other manufacturers give you that, don't they? I think it's a little bit sad, to be honest. Owners of the Polestar 2 can also buy something similar for their cars, by the way. It's incredible that no EVs got the full electric car grant amount, says editor Paul Barker of the Auto Express. And I agree, Paul, it is absolutely bonkers. There are now 24 vehicles that qualify for the £1,500, but still nothing that qualifies for the 3,750. And it's still really unclear on how these things are scored, what makes it up, at least to the outside world. And that's a little bit disappointing, I think. And if you've seen my latest new vehicle discounts video, you'll know that you can already get way more than £3,750 off an electric car. And I still don't think the government grant's going to make the blindest bit of difference to the consumer and the end price they pay in probably 9 cases out of 10, if I'm being completely honest. Electric van boosters government grant for plug-in commercial vehicles is extended. Business owners will be able to save thousands on new electric vans and trucks until 2027. Currently, the government grant scheme offers discounts of £2,500 for small vans, that's those under 2.5 tonnes, £5,000 for large vans, that's those between 2.5 and 3.5 tonnes, £16,000 for small trucks, that's those between 4.25 and 12 tonnes, and £25,000 for large trucks, that's anything over 12 tonnes. Checkatrade CEO says lower running costs, freedom from charges like ULEZ, and the ability to plan ahead with confidence. It all adds up to real practical support. What do you think? Are you a tradesman? Do you mostly work locally? Have you made the switch yet, or would you consider it? And if so, would this plug-in car grant actually poke you in the right direction and get it done? Let us know. I've got to say, these ads that get served to me, we're looking for men who haven't exercised in years and are ready to start. They know their audience, don't they? although I do go to the gym twice a week. It just doesn't do anything. Nissan drives new Qashqai length of the UK on a single tank of petrol. Engineers drove e-Power hybrid from Land's End to John O'Groats, clocking 75 mpg. They actually say that they did it all and still could have gone on for another 100 miles with the amount of petrol that was left. It's the e-Power hybrid. The e-Power system behaves differently to most conventional hybrid powertrains. The turbocharged 1.5 litre petrol engine doesn't drive the wheels at all. Instead, it's generating electricity for a small battery, which then turns that power into an electric motor. The motor is the car's sole driving force, putting 201 brake horsepower and 243 foot-pound of torque into the wheels. So a few people are doing it this way, and it seems to work quite well. I haven't tried it in the new Qashqai, I have to admit, but when I have tried Nissan's e-Power hybrid system in the past, I found it a bit odd. It was a bit agricultural sounding. I'd be interested in drive that new Qashqai, actually. I'll have to get one booked in, but that is pretty impressive. Land's End to John O'Groats on a single tank. It's just a shame that a single tank still costs a lot of money, isn't it? People will be saying, what's the point of doing Land's End to John O'Groats on a single tank? Because, you know, you have to stop for a wee and something to eat and drink at some point, and probably a night in a hotel. So you could have just filled it up with petrol there and then. It's just showing you what the car can do. It doesn't mean to say you're going to go and do that on a weekly basis. I'm thinking about doing something like this in a different car, actually, to test its claims and maybe just seeing which country I end up in. But who knows if that will happen? We'll have to wait and see. A new £3 million Lamborghini Fenomeno is firm's fastest car yet. Fenomeno, what a name that is. It's brilliant, isn't it? Revuelto-based hybrid hypercar redefines Lamborghini's performance benchmarks. It's going to be a £3 million car on a limited run track-home special that is the firm's most powerful model yet, poised to break all the firm's major performance benchmarks. It's going to have the same plug-in hybrid powertrain as the 1,001 brake horsepower Revuelto, 6.5 litre V12 and 3 electric motors. However, the power from its 6.5 litre V12 has been boosted to 1,065 brake horsepower, because obviously you need a bit more. And I'd be interested to know how many of these things get purchased and actually driven, or will they just become sort of investment queens that sit in a garage waiting for the value to go up. This is very cool. Classic Aston Martin DBS reinvented as an 805 brake horsepower hot rod. DBS Resto mod by American firm Ring Brothers sits on a new chassis and is boosted by a 2.65 litre supercharger. I love the Ring Brothers cars. They always seem to just breathe on the car in all the right places, and they always make something special. Again, it's the preserve of multi-millionaires stroke billionaires, but what a thing this is. And so cool that they've done it with an old Aston and giving it that classic muscle car sort of vibe. Very cool interior as well. I've got a lot of time for that. I hope they have that at SEMA this year. The GT now draws power from a 5 litre Coyote engine that's been overhauled and fitted with a 2.65 litre supercharger to output to 805 brake horsepower. And it's got a 6-speed Tremec manual gearbox in it. That thing looks bananas. Folks, just a very quick reminder to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks. Check this out. Mercedes in talks to use BMW engines for future petrol cars. The tie-up could result in Mercedes using the rival's 4-pot for its next generation PHEVs and range extenders. The agreement between the rival companies is being framed as a strategic step to cut development costs. For Mercedes, it would mean they'd secure a Euro 7 compliant engine, which is crucial to the continuation of ICE models, they say here, while helping to expand plug-in hybrid offerings without further heavy investment in 4-cylinder engine development. The move comes as Mercedes phases out its 1.5 litre 4-cylinder M252 engine. And basically this comes on the back of electric car take-up being slower than Mercedes thought it would be. And they've just decided, rather than pump a load of their own money into this, they'll go and have a chat with their old chums over at BMW. Interesting stuff anyway, but it does all seem very sensible. Xiaomi plans to launch electric cars in Europe in 2027. Xiaomi's new EV brand has grown at lightning speed in China and now has its eyes in Europe. Some of the cars look very cool, as always, or as often. They don't seem like the most original set of designs, but they're Very nice looking cars. They seem to be going after the sort of more premium and certainly performance end of the EV market with their offerings. And they do look to be quite premium. So I'm really interested to see more on that as and when they do appear. Here's a happy story about a British company, Ariel, to double production capacity with new UK factory. Site will include a factory, showroom, museum and servicing operations. So they're based in Somerset at the moment. And it sounds like for 5 years they've been negotiating to get this new factory or facility, and they've got it. But it's great to see this. Obviously, it's obviously a very niche company. The cars are very niche. It's great to see some real success and them growing and developing as a brand. And hats off to them. Registering a restored or modified car just got easier, and here's why. Under new DVLA rules, modified or restored cars can maintain their identities even after significant work has been carried out. So previously, for even like-for-like repairs, you had to notify the DVLA. So if you changed out a chassis on a car because it was rotten, for example, you had to notify the DVLA. You're not going to have to do that anymore as long as you're using identical like-for-like parts. You also don't have to tell them if you're doing something like putting different wheels on the car or putting a spoiler on it or anything like that. You can now just get on with your life. It seems like probably a cost-saving exercise for DVLA, and hopefully it just makes life a bit easier for everyone that actually wants to keep classic cars on the road, and more power to them. New 2027 Vauxhall Corsa aiming to set the Super Mini standard. However, they're still going to use that 1.2 litre 3-pot petrol engine, which I think is going to be a modified version. And they've already taken one of the wet belts away and replaced it with a chain. But come on, Stellantis. They're saying it's going to be electric first, though, which is probably not a surprise to anyone. But they're very keen to put across the fact that they expect to be setting the standard with their new platform. Vauxhall itself are obviously part of Stellantis, and that wider Stellantis group owns so many brands. It'd be great if they really started to excel rather than giving us some fairly average stuff at times. So more on that as we get it. That's it for this one, folks. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Subscription numbers have been very slow lately. It's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just click the subscribe button. That always helps. And it's more important than ever to turn on your notifications. I've had lots and lots of messages from people recently saying, I haven't seen one of your videos for months. And that's because the YouTube algorithms changed and they don't necessarily put them on your homepage anymore. They will put on your homepage whatever you've been watching recently and send you down that rabbit hole. So if you've been looking for solutions to paint your fence on YouTube, you'll get lots of fence painting videos and less fat blokes with limited hair. So yeah, click the notification icon, folks. Have a great weekend. Stay safe on the road. Catch you soon. Huge thanks to all my channel members for your continued support. I really do appreciate it.